So today, I had a viewer with a request. Uh, she sent me a whole bunch of questions, and and I am going to pick out pick out some questions at random. I've got my Hello Kitty cup with some questions in here, and I'm just going to pick some questions that I got from random and answer them, and then if you guys want to jump in at some point with your own questions, then I am all about it. Let's make sure this is random. All right, first question I got. It says, "What are your ideas about the Philippines before you came here? And after living here for some time, does it change how you feel or how you see the Philippines?" Oh, hey, Martin. Let me read that question again. Let's see. What are your ideas about the Philippines before you came here? And after living here for some time, does it change how you see the Philippines? Um, that's multiple questions there. All right. So, my idea about uh, the Philippines before I moved here was probably a little rose-colored glasses. You have to remember, like I was going through, kind of a hard time. Turn this light on, and I was kind of going through a hard time, and like the Philippines was my life preserver. So, uh, before I came to the Philippines, I had, you know, um, a very idealized view about the Philippines. So how has that changed since I got here? Um, of course, it's not you know the paradise that I believed it before I came, but um, I also came with like a really positive attitude, and so having that attitude coming here, um, affects your experience a lot. And uh, there's almost nothing I would change about the experience so far. Um, you know, it's um, it's been transformative for me personally, and so I guess to answer your question, I had an idealized view of the Philippines before I came. And now that I've been here for a while, the reality uh, is that I still really like myself in the Philippines. Gino said, "Hello, Ray." Fenna, hello, Ray, watching from Cebu. I appreciate you. You guys, if you got any questions, I better put that back in there so I can do it randomly. You guys got any questions? Just throw them out there. I got some of these questions from a viewer, um, and then one or two from Facebook. Uh, this question says, "Many foreigners claim that they have been scammed by a Filipina. Do you have similar experience?" Um, Short answer, yes. Um, before I came to the Philippines, the first time I was researching the Philippines, watching vlogs about the Philippines, and I decided, well, I'll get on a dating site and like look to see if I can, find a Filipina. And like the first Filipina I talked to, she was supposedly an OFW in Hong Kong. And like we never video chatted. Um, and it was just pictures and chat. And um, and I didn't actually get scammed in that instance because, like we were talking about, getting her, the process of getting a plane ticket and a visitor's visa and all that. Like she was saying, basically there was some kind of fixer in Hong Kong that I went through and gave me like the website address and before I sent any money, like I had a moment of clarity and I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then like it was either the second or the third Filipina that uh, there was a couple times I actually got scammed. Like I sent, um, I forget how much to buy someone a new phone, or fix their phone or something because their webcam, their camera wasn't working, and so that's why they couldn't video chat. And anyway, that ended up being a scam. I finally like took the picture and did a Google search on the picture that I had of this particular woman, and it ended up being like some Canadian Filipino actress or something that was living in Canada. Or it was a mess. Anyway, so yeah, I've got scammed a couple times. Martin said it happens to most of us. Yeah, I mean, mine wasn't nearly as bad as stories I've heard. You know, I've um, I've sent. There was one girl, like I just talked to her the one time, and she was talking about she was hungry and everything. I don't remember if that was the first time I ever sent money to a Filipino or not, but basically I just sent her $20 to go get something to eat, and uh, it was sent to her cousin's phone, and she kept messaging me after that, how are you, baby? I love you, baby. And I just never responded. Once she asked for the money, I was like, all right, here's $20, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore. But um, uh, Martin says, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Absolutely. Like, um, you know, the thing is like, you can always, be optimistic and hopeful that, something that you're involved in is real. Um, but when it comes down to, you know, uh, like concrete action towards that possibility, it's better to, you know, be cautious. And if the person you're talking to, can't understand that, then they're not on your side anyway. Okay. What are the red flags to be aware of? Well, I just released my dating video earlier today, and I went over red flags there, so this should be kind of fresh in my mind. Uh, there's let's see. Of course, like we're just kind of going over it a little bit. Is you know, uh, don't send money to someone if they ask for money soon after meeting you. Like that's a red flag. And like I said in my video, Like it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a scammer because, you know, some Filipinas, are influenced by, their friends or someone they know that, gets money from a foreigner. And, uh, so I don't blame Filipinas for asking the first time because, I mean, you never know, right? But, um, once you like set a boundary, said, hey, I don't know you that well to be sending you money like that. And, if they continue on, then yeah, that's a done deal. That's the big red flag everybody knows about. The other ones is like, I always say that if a Filipina has like a bunch of drama that's always happening, and especially if like their story gets jumbled or mixed up, like whenever you hear what's going on, like the details don't always seem like they're the same, that's a big red flag. Setting you up for, some catastrophe that you've got to be the hero. And, we're not here to save Filipinas. Um, Let me go to my comments real quick. Martin said, I met my wife online. While I'm reading these, you guys hit the like button. I think I only see one like, and it's me. So I met my wife online 20 years ago, never asked me for anything. She even booked a flight for me to come over there. Still to this day, I tease her I should have clicked that little X. I should have clicked that little X. I'm trying to think what the X is. I should have clicked the little X. You explain to me what the little X is. Gino said, what is your first impression to Filipina? Like my first impression, I like, even though, some of my first interactions with Filipinas, were they were trying to scam me. I mean, they were nice about it. Scammers are nice to you, but since then, Filipinas are sweet, and Filipinas are, I don't know how to say this politically correct. Filipinas are more nice to you when they're not actually in a relationship with you. that's all I'll say about that. Uh, Martin said the little X in the top of the chat screen that closed the window. Okay. I should have clicked that little X. Okay, on like the chat to close the chat. All right, let's get another question while I'm waiting for some more people to come in and ask me some questions. This is, let's see. Do you advise foreigners to do online dating? Absolutely. Um, there's a lot of vloggers that recommend boots on the ground and going out to meet uh, like a Filipina, but that gives you a limited scope. And yes, with online dating, you have to be careful and just be smart, and aware, and you know um, follow certain rules that you follow no matter what to keep you safe. But other than that, you can see like a wider variety. There might be like a Filipina that is close by you, but she works 12 hours, and like she doesn't have time to be you know meeting some person in the mall randomly, and online is maybe the only way that you'll ever find that woman. And so, yeah, I definitely recommend online. It's getting to be more and more prevalent um, in society. Like it is the most used way to meet people worldwide. Um, so if you're limiting yourself by not choosing to try and find somebody online, that's very, very limiting. I got a chat question before I move on to my next question. Let's see. Gino said, "LOL, I can feel it." Do you think Philippines is safe for foreigners to retire? Um, yes, absolutely. Um, again, you know, it's a matter of personal awareness. Like pretty much everywhere I've been in the Philippines, like you know, from a crime safety standpoint, like I've not visited any area that I felt unsafe in, even late at night. Just you know, and that is the key. Is I'm not going to go into an area that may be a little sketchy, um, because why? There's no reason for me to do that. So as long as you make yourself, it's like that all over the world. Like you can be unsafe in you know any city in any country in the world. There is a part of that city that you should not go to, and it's up to you, to learn, where the safe areas are, and or where the unsafe areas are, and avoid those areas. But yeah, I've haven't had any time where I really felt unsafe in the Philippines. Martin said it's fun, but if you're moving there, uh, lining up women before you go there, is it really a good idea? It's like showing up to a barbecue with a sandwich. Barbecue with a sandwich. Guys should take their time. Yeah, absolutely, Martin. I agree with that. Uh, hey, Stoneheart. Uh, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I again, you guys after watch the live stream, like I just dropped my dating video today, so make sure to watch that at some point. I wouldn't even mind if you left the live stream, go watch it, and come back. But anyway, back to your comment. Uh, I don't think that it's a good idea to to talk to multiple women online anyway. Um, you know, it because it's my personal belief. Like if you're looking for someone to be in a serious relationship with, there is no way that you could give a woman like your complete attention and complete focus and give a genuine evaluation of how the relationship is or isn't progressing, and whether it works or not, if you're doing that with multiple women at one time. It just not a good idea. So like I would always suggest, just talk to one woman and keep talking to that one woman as long as you know that it makes you happy to do so. As long as the relationship's going good, then stay with the one woman. And you know, the moment the relationship's not going good, than in that relationship before moving on to trying to find another relationship. It's just cleaner that way. Also, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, also, the part that I'm definitely agreeing with you, Martin, is I don't think that anyone should become like super serious with one woman or any number of women before they've actually came to the Philippines. It's, you know, I would definitely advise against that. There's nothing wrong with it, making a connection and, making plans to meet, but, you know, um, but if you're like, I'm coming there and, we're going to be glued to the hip 24 hours a day, that's not a good idea. I wouldn't do that. I am definitely in the camp of, try to experience the Philippines as a single person, not meaning, dating multiple women and all that while you're in the Philippines, just being in the Philippines by yourself without anybody else and just kind of getting the feel for being in the Philippines independently before you become really serious and take on, another person into your life. That's just my opinion. All right. Gino said, do you believe that it is more fun in the Philippines? Absolutely. I have a blast all the time. Stoner, are you looking someone here? No, not. I have a girlfriend. Thena said, I agree to that, Ray. I appreciate you. I'm assuming you're talking about, coming to, well, I don't know what part you agree with. If you agree with all of it, I'm here. We can meet to each other. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to meet anybody. Are you independent now? No, like I just said, I have a girlfriend, and so I am not looking. Show the girlfriend. No, this is my live stream. Like she's not, on my YouTube channel, so I respect that. And anyway, so while I'm waiting for more questions, let me pick out of the cup. That's a good one to pick out of the cup. This one was from one of my random messenger posts. It says, "Wow, are you in the Philippines? Why are you so guapo?" So the answer to that question is yes, I'm in the Philippines, and this is just the face God blessed me with. So I hope that answered your question. And I put in my Facebook in like a post in on my Facebook that I am not going to answer anybody that just sends me random messenger messages like hi or how are you or where are you or that Facebook account is for interacting with my audience on YouTube and not to pick up girls. So Finna is smiling. All right, I think I'm down to my last question, which is kind of good because then my Hello Kitty cup will be empty and I can make a cup of coffee. All right, this question, and the majority of these questions came from Rhoda, and Rhoda is not here right now. So you'll have to read it later, but Rhoda's a subscribed to my channel, and she sent me a bunch of questions and gave me the idea to pull questions out of my Hello Kitty cup. So you guys, if y'all think of any questions, like I said, hit me up on Facebook, and then send me questions, on Messenger or on Facebook or however you can get it to me. And then once a week, I'll do a live stream and just answer random questions. So this question is: between Western women and Filipino women, which do you believe that you have a better chance of finding a decent quality woman? Rhoda gave me a loaded question. I think it's possible to find a decent quality woman, anywhere in the world, and it all depends on what you're looking for. Like the question for me personally, I prefer Filipinas, and I wouldn't go so far to tell someone else that that may be attracted to Western women or for different reasons. Like, I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. It's just wrong for me. It's kind of like last night, someone was asking me about smoking marijuana. I said, well, I have no problem with someone that does it. It's just not for me. And I guess that's what I'm kind of saying with Western women. Like, there's nothing wrong with Western women. Like, you hear all these comparisons and talking about how Western women are, but the thing is, I'm sure that there's some men that are attracted to whatever that is, whether it's like uh, there's men that are attracted to like simple women that just are at home on their hands and knees digging in the dirt, planting vegetables. And then there's men that are attracted to women that wouldn't do that because it'd break their nails, and they get a manicure like every week, and they're into beauty and taking care of themselves, and what some people would consider high maintenance is some other guy's cup of tea. That's the kind of woman that he likes. And so it all just depends on the individual. I don't know if it's kind of a cop out, but I did answer for me. I like Filipinas, except when they're moody. I don't like Tampo. Martin says, don't forget all the lovelies at Walmart at 3 o'clock. Yeah, there's some, you'd be surprised. Well, it's not really at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. But when I lived in South Texas, it was in Brownsville, Texas. And, there's a lot of Mexican American women down there. And whenever I moved down there and I went in Walmart, I was like shocked, because the women that went to Walmart were always like dressed to the, I mean, they were wearing heels and dresses and, makeup and like completely done up going to Walmart. And, where I was from before that in like Northwest Louisiana, they were going into Walmart with a moo and curlers in their hair and, house shoes. So, it kind of depends on, where you go. It's just like with anything. Um, it's like going on a damn safari. Yeah, if you're in the right area of the country, going to Walmart, yeah, you're gonna see some stuff. Thenna said, I have to go now. We're getting our dinner. All right. I appreciate you stopping by, Thenna. I just ate before I started this live stream. Clearly, they were not Caucasian women. Well, yeah, not down in Brownsville. Well, I think, see you later, Thenna. He said, bye. Um, yeah, not down in Brownsville. I mean, there now. Don't get me wrong. The Caucasian women down there, also, kind of dressed up. It was just kind of like the majority thing, and then a lot of the Caucasian women down there were like at least over 50, uh, because it's kind of like a that area is kind of like a retirement type of community, so it's like a mix between like retired and partying, because it's down by Grand Isle. So like in the spring you would get the college scene happening. Wait a minute, is this on? All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna get this coffee going. But it was in the, like I said, spring break, you had all the college kids down at South Padre Island. But it was I liked it down in Brownsville. Wasn't bad. Okay. Nope. Nobody said anything since I was going to make coffee. Y'all try and think of something while I'm over here, and I'll try to. This doesn't look like it's going to be that long of a live stream. I might cut this one short, and then start the live stream again in vertical mode. But since I was doing the whole question thing, I figured I would do it in case I decided to release it later as a video. Martin said, headed to Texas on Tuesday. What part of Texas you going to, Martin? What part of Texas you be heading to? Oh, what happened? What happened to my robot dude? Waco. Yeah, that's just south of Dallas. Does it have to do with like a work deal? Oh, daughter starting university. Okay. Waco. I'm trying to think what's near Waco. It's not SMU, is it? I think SMU. No. I'm trying to think what college is in Waco. No, it's not. No, it's not SMU. Not TCU. I don't think. Wait, it could be. Is it TCU? I don't know. Martin's gonna tell me, and then I'm gonna feel stupid because I should have known. Because that just seems like something that I should know. I just don't know it. But yeah, if I don't have a bunch of questions, then I am gonna hope that y'all will rejoin me, because I will change this to a vertical live stream and see if I can get some more random people up in here. Like, I don't get as many people on like a horizontal stream. Okay. Okay, Baylor. Not as Baylor. Near Waco, not actually in Waco. Yeah, you know, I know Waco is just like south of Dallas. Did you trust it to your girlfriend? Yeah, I've, you know, I have no reason not to trust my girlfriend, and I've given her no reason not to trust me. But for right now, Martin, I hope you find me again. Actually, why don't you do me a favor? And even if you don't watch the whole dating video, because why would you? You're married. But like, just find my dating video and give it a like. And I'm gonna stop this and start it again as a vertical live stream. So who dat? Love you.